So this is gonna be my recommendation, like real quick. You saw videos of all of these ships on my YouTube channel or on Twitch. I just want to go super fast over it in a small video, so you see some summarization. There we go. Whatever. So to summarize, which one you should, in my opinion, is pretty good, which one is bad, which one you shouldn't get necessarily. A summary. So, welcome Twitch, welcome YouTube. Trendless here, and we are looking at the Steel Fleet event of the new patch. We're seeing 5 individual ships here, and you've seen multiple videos about each one on my YouTube channel or my Twitch channel live. But in case you missed something or something interesting, I just want to go over my personal opinion. There might be some people disagreeing, but I'm just letting you know which one is worth it in my opinion. And we're gonna start with Archerfish. Now, of course, first of all, you need to enjoy submarines to buy it. First rule. Okay, please don't do that now. Anyway. Strengths, big HP pool, 2 guns, which can help you dealing with low HP targets. Also, the fastest submarine in the game on surface, aka on the periscope depth, if you have enhanced propeller proc, the captain skill. You also have a speed boost, you have a heal, you have an amazing F key, which gives you basically 17.5% better torpedo reload over a duration of 20 or 30 seconds. And minus 20% downtime on consumables. So the cooldown goes down. The F key is always automatically triggered once you either get, I think it was 1500 potential damage near you, or if you hit 2 torpedoes. So very easy to trigger. You can't, it's automatic like the CV ASW, so you can't control it. It just will be triggered. Still very nice. Biggest downside of the submarine is the high concealment. And the fact that it's very sluggish. It takes very long to go below the water in comparison to some other submarines. Plus, it has no hydrophone, which means you need to play it very careful when choosing to go up, and mostly play it on periscope depth and above the water. It also has insanely high battery capacity of over 6 minutes. The problem is, the recharge rate is by far the slowest out of all submarines. Which is, if you build for longer durations, it's like every 10 seconds you get 1 second of battery back. So you kind of need to work with the big capacity you have and don't waste too much at the beginning. Overall, it's probably gonna be one of the best submarines in the game. I'm not saying it is the best. I need to play it more for that, but I feel very comfortable. At the beginning, I kind of struggled a bit without the hydrophone, but after a few games, I found my way with it, and I enjoy it quite a lot. Going on to Shinano. I'm not an expert in CVs. I have less than 1.5% of all my total played games in RTS CVs. In the updated CV rework CVs. So I can just state from the point where I played it, I think it's really strong because, or I think it might be the new strongest. Honestly, I think, like, I hate every CV. I'm not gonna deny it. And I think it's probably the most busted new tier 10 one. Because, let me explain why. It has AP skip bombers, which you kind of need to get used to first. Like, where to launch them, on which drop pattern you need to put them to citadel certain ships. But the thing about AP skip bombers is, once you sit somebody, it's permanent damage done. Most ships cannot really heal citadel damage, so they will take a massive amount of damage that they can't really heal. The second squad is an insanely good torpedo squad, which drops 3 torpedoes, which are doing like 6k, 7k damage each. So with torpedo belt, probably like you're around 15k volleys with the torpedoes. You have a very long speed boost with 15 seconds. You tend to do with both squads enormous amount of damage. And then to rotate, so you pretty much never deplaned, you have a tactical squadron, which is recharging every 2 minutes. And that's HE dive bombers. Which is probably the thing I hate the most about this thing. Because even if you're not an expert necessarily with plane management, you will always have that 2-minute cooldown dive bomber squad, which will always be full. Always. It's a tactical squadron. It doesn't care about losses. If you lose all planes, it will be full squad after 2 minutes as well. Also, the cooldown is insane in that way that once you launch the squad, the cooldown is already starting to tick again. So you launch it, you take a different squad, you can take the dive bombers again. Other than that, you have a smoke screen on the tactical squad, so you can smoke up yourself. You have the best secondary dispersion in the game, even though you don't have a lot, and you don't have a lot of range on them. Or I think the range is actually pretty good, but you don't have a lot of them. You have like Graf Zeppelin, very accurate secondaries, which means if a DD is really bad and he comes too close to you, you will kill him. I killed already a full HP Yugomo with this ship in my first Shinano game. Who YOLO'd me, but kind of bad, but he got instantly paid the price because the guns are so accurate. So, in my opinion, probably the best new CV in the game. It's still, like, the thing is, there's not a big of power difference between this and the Nakhimov or FDR or so on. They're all really, really strong, but I think this one tops it out because it does a lot of permanent damage that you can't heal. Shikuma, absolute dog ship and probably the noob trap of all of these ships. Don't get it, personally, opinion. It sucks. It doesn't have really good damage output of the main guns. Yes, you get it. You get it's a hybrid and you get a plane squadron, but the plane squadron isn't really that good either. Overall, I just can't recommend the ship. I'm not going much more into detail. Check out my Shikuma video on it. I think it's garbage. I think this is absolutely garbage and a waste of steel. Prins van Oranje. Now we're getting in an interesting part. Remember also Archerfish and Shinano are gonna stay. These two are gonna be removed. Prins van Oranje. I had actually overall really good results with it. However, if I had to choose between this and Golden Line, I would still give Golden Line the edge. Now let me explain. This ship has longer range airstrikes, which on first glance, and stronger ones, which looks pretty cool. The problem is the cooldown is way longer than on Golden Line. And also, you need to lead 17 seconds, although I got used to that. That's not the problem anymore. Now, you don't really rely on the airstrikes as much as Golden Line, especially lag mod Golden Line. The upside is, you have 12 main guns, they are smaller caliber, they have less punch than Golden Line, but they are far more accurate because they have cruiser dispersion. So, this ship is all about more consistent guns. I like the guns, I really like them a lot. I still think Golden Line's guns are better because you have more opportunities to citadel battleships with them, which you can't really do with these guns. Even though these ones will nuke cruisers and you can still get big chunks of damage on battleships due to upper belt armor and so on. Another upside of this ship is you have short duration fires, like cruiser fires, you don't have the battle cruiser long duration fire. A downside, however, again, is that you have an 80-second cooldown on a heal, I think, 80? Instead of 40 on the Golden Line. Like, it doesn't, it's better, it's more consistent when it comes to main guns. And I kind of like it. It also has a lot more range, 18.4 I think. But it's different. You should not really compare it with Golden Line in a way that the airstrikes are purely a bonus gimmick to the ship. It's all about the main guns. Meanwhile with Golden Line you use kind of both. And to an extent the airstrikes even more. So it's a different playstyle. I think it's a decent ship. I think it's too expensive for 46k steel. But it's not a bad ship. It's not a bad ship if you don't mind that the main core of the ship is the main guns and not the airstrikes. The airstrikes are a bonus if you catch somebody camping or somewhere, but bear in mind the reload is very long on them and it's all about the main gun. Now to Hoffmann, or the last big steel one. Now at the beginning I was like, okay, you have a Felix Scholz here. Is it worth it? You get Elbing Pen. First of all, I'm gonna go over all the good stuff. You get Elbing Pen. You have a 6 cam hydro. You have a smoke screen. You have a very long speed boost with over 3 minutes duration. At the beginning, and you also got the improved armor of the Elbing Felix Scholz line and so on, which means 25 millimeters in the middle. At the beginning, I was like, is it really that? Is that gonna work? And the biggest downside, honestly, the ship has, it has Z52 tops, it has better tops even as far as I'm aware of, because they have 12 cam range. But yeah, I was like, is it gonna work? Like, it's trying to combine everything, but you lose the improved AP angles, which are really, really strong on Elbing. They're like, that's the thing that I love about Elbing, that you're not only having high panning guns, but you also have improved AP angles, which means you will be able to smash, for example, DDs or light cruisers when they're angled as well, with AP. But again, in the first couple of games I struggled a bit, but then I got used to it and I realized the HE is way more potent. The HE is actually really strong. And when people show flat broadside, especially cruisers, you will be still able to citadel all of them. Plus, you have that hydro and a really, really good torpedo reload. You lose this, like the things you lose is turret traverse of Elbing leg mod, obviously. Around 6k HP, because I think it has 28,000 and Elbing with survivability expert ends at 32-ish. And you lose the improved AP angles. However, gaining the good HE, gaining these really good torpedoes, like Elbing has good torpedoes, they're just slow, but they're good. But these ones have even better reaction times, so they're faster, but you lose a bit of range. Plus the hydro and the long duration speed boost, which makes the ship rather fast, honestly. For long durations, because we're talking about 3 minutes and 20 seconds if you build into it. It ended up being a really, really good package, and in all honesty, 36k again is a lot, but I would recommend this. This one gets my recommendation. I think it's a really good ship. It's different enough to be differently played than Elbing, because you play way more with the hydro and the torpedoes. But each to their own. I like it. I perform very well now with it after adjusting my build. You have to build, though, in my opinion, you have to build into AFT on the captain skill, because that's also one thing that's really bad on the ship itself. You have only 11.1 km main gun range, which sucks. So you're forced to take AFT on the commander to get 20% more range. But that's pretty much it. Otherwise, really, really good ship. Definitely recommended by me. A bit too expensive, but I think this is actually a really, really good ship. Now, of course, something like Ragnar, Kleber, Smolan and so on will be still better overall. But I think this is a really solid pick, and I like it. Again, my personal opinion. Might be a lot of people disagreeing, but I have a blast with this ship, and I definitely recommend it. And now to the last two hidden gems. It's 32, oh, and also, remember one thing, thank you for handing it out. For the first ship you buy here, you get a 15% coupon. Only the first one, though. If you buy one of these, if you're interested in all four, take the coupon on one of these ships. Because these ships will be gone afterwards for we don't know how long. These ones will be still their next patch, and you can use the 25% coupon then on them. They're also all gonna, these two are also gonna be cheaper, because right now they have the steel camo on it. So I guess they end up like 30-ish K steel, and this one 32k. Don't know the prices, but it's gonna be lower, and you can use the coupon on these ones. If you are interested in more, besides these two ones and one of these, use the coupon on them now. And now, to the best bargains of the whole patch, which you should, in my opinion, definitely get. Like, definitely. And that's Tianxi, which is a really good synop with not, like usually Russian BBs are all about being closer, you get better dispersion. This has standardized dispersion, that means it's pretty all round on all ranges. And it has a high precision spotter plane, which gives you, for a short duration, really good accuracy by improving it by 10% and giving you 10% more range. Other than that, Sinop, really, really good ship. Definitely recommended. Also, with the battle pass when you buy it, I think it's, how long is it? How much is it? 3.5k doubloons. You also get these things extra on top on the bottom line. So, definitely recommended. One of the best prices for a nice tier 7. And you can't see it here right now. Also, you get a bit of extra steel and more Christmas crates, I see. You can't see it here. But there is Lugdunum waiting in 21 days for the second battle pass, which is the Lyon secondaries. I think it's also gonna cost... It's also gonna cost 3,500. K doubloons. So in total 7,000 if you want to get both. Also, just a straight up better Lyon, definitely recommend it. Like, these two ships are probably the best bargains of the whole patch. You get for very low amount of doubloons 2 really good tier 7 ships, and you get all the bonuses on the bottom, so definitely worth it. And I hope you enjoyed this little summarization. If you want to see content about all these ships, I posted about every ship or every of the new ships, multiple battles on my YouTube channel. Be sure to check it out. Thank you so much. Trendless out. Good. Yeah, it said both cost 3.5k doubloons. Good. So, gamers, patch day. I just wanted to make this video real quick because some people might be missing one video or whatever.